Tumeshasikia habari za Yesu, mwana wa Mungu. Yesu yule ajaye mara ya pili, Yesu mwenye uwezo mkuu, ametenda maajabu tangu zamani. Hata leo mpe nafasi, atakutendea yaliyo mema. Tumeshasikia habari za Yesu, mwana wa Mungu. Yesu yule ajaye mara ya pili, Yesu mwenye uwezo mkuu, ametenda maajabu tangu zamani. Hata leo mpe nafasi, atakutendea yaliyo mema. Waliofika kwake wakiwa ni wagonjwa, aliwaponya wote. Waliofika kwake wakiwa ni viwete, walitupa magongo wakaenda zao. Vipofu wakaona, viziwi wasikia. Yesu ni muweza yote, atatatua masumbuko yako. Waliofika kwake wakiwa ni wagonjwa, aliwaponya wote. Waliofika kwake wakiwa ni viwete, walitupa magongo wakaenda zao. Vipofu wakaona, viziwi wasikia. Yesu ni muweza yote, atatatua masumbuko yako. Umedhoofika maishani mwako, muite Yesu. Rafiki kweli, yeye hatakuacha, anakujali tangu mwanzo. Amekuwa upande wako hadi sasa. Umpokee Mwokozi Yesu, atakutendea yaliyo mema. Umedhoofika maishani mwako, muite Yesu. Rafiki kweli, yeye hatakuacha, anakujali tangu mwanzo. Amekuwa upande wako hadi sasa. Umpokee Mwokozi Yesu, atakutendea yaliyo mema. Waliofika kwake wakiwa ni wagonjwa, aliwaponya wote. Waliofika kwake wakiwa ni viwete, walitupa magongo wakaenda zao. Vipofu wakaona, viziwi wasikia. Yesu ni muweza yote, atatatua masumbuko yako. Waliofika kwake wakiwa ni wagonjwa, aliwaponya wote. Waliofika kwake wakiwa ni viwete, walitupa magongo wakaenda zao. Vipofu wakaona, viziwi wasikia. Yesu ni muweza yote, atatatua masumbuko yako. Waliofika kwake wakiwa ni wagonjwa, aliwaponya wote. Waliofika kwake wakiwa ni viwete, walitupa magongo wakaenda zao. Vipofu wakaona, viziwi wasikia. Yesu ni muweza yote, atatatua masumbuko yako. Waliofika kwake wakiwa ni wagonjwa, aliwaponya wote. Waliofika kwake wakiwa ni viwete, walitupa magongo wakaenda zao. Vipofu wakaona, viziwi wasikia. Yesu ni muweza yote, atatatua masumbuko yako.
Welcome back to Sunday Best. Asante sana for joining us. My name is Anthony Ndiam, of course, with a pretty charity. Unapenda yani ukiambiwa pretty mazee una
lazima ujijaze. Lazima ujifeel.
Yeah.
And yeah, Charity, Maina, good to have you Ndiema again.
Again, it's
on
good to
this
have you. Today
segment.
ni kama hiyo black na nini, hata guest wetu pia
kidogo, lazima mkuwe in the spirit, mna
Sindio?
vibe, alafu lipstick imematch na tie yako.
Mimi rangi imematch na suit. Wewe rangi imematch na the lower part of your dress.
What do you mean? Oh my goodness.
But thank you very much for joining us. Today we just want to hear a very powerful testimony. And the reason why once in a while we bring these testimonies is so that you get encouraged to know that even in your very tough situation, you are an overcomer. And even in that, there's still hope.
Absolutely.
How's your?
Yeah, absolutely. I love the fact that we have Faith here with us today. Even as she shares her testimony, I felt like I need to be part of this conversation. Because normally what would happen, Ndiema would go for the interviews with the testimony or conversations.
Right.
Then other times I'd go with the service kwa sababu napenda entertainment kidogo. But
nitoboe siri?
Toboa.
Hii itakuchomea, wacha tu ni wachane.
So with this particular testimony, I felt I need to be there because Faith's testimony is one that I can say I relate with, and she will get to share. Let me not nisimwage mtama mapema, but due to the fact that she's a cancer survivor, and simply because my mom was a cancer patient, blessed be her memory. But every time I hear cancer stories of victory, somehow I resonate with it. I know the process. I know the hardship of radiotherapy, chemotherapy, and believing in God till the last minute, for the impossible and for the miracles.
Amazing.
So good to have Faith here.
Thank you so much.
Faith Musoli.
Yes.
There's an icing to this cake on her survival. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Yeah.
So my name is Faith Musoli, born and raised in Kakamega County. I'm a fourth born in a family of 7.
Wow.
And growing up, I didn't have the luxury to have parents. So I was orphaned at a very, very tender age. And my sister was actually forced to get married with the 5 of us.
Oh. Wow.
Yes.
How old was she?
She was 26 by then.
Wow.
Yes.
So she had to get married so that she takes care of you.
Yes.
Wow.
So she gets married with us, and she actually made sure that all of us at least went to school up to university level.
Wow.
And I can actually say that she's a very selfless woman, a woman who took everything to just take care of her siblings. Like she didn't really care so much about herself. And of course the husband, because in the society today it's so difficult to find such a man. A man who will take you in
and
with your 5 siblings.
And, true.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
you don't look, si ati watu wa Kakamega wanakujua. Ukai ni kama umelelewa village catch.
Nimelelewa catch, nimekula shida. But I kept on pushing through because I had a goal to achieve. At times I would wake up in the morning and I look at my sister, the way she was struggling with us, and we'd actually tell her, please, Karo, don't buy mboga. Let's have a garden behind our house so that we can plant there something. So the money you would buy as clothes, use it to. The money you would buy vegetables, use it to buy even clothes. So it was a very tough life. And even back in school, I was like, I'm working hard for my sister.
Wow.
Like I have to make her happy. Like she doesn't have to pay the campus fee again. So I finished high school in 2008.
Right.
So immediately I've finished high school, I realized like I'm having pains in my legs. And I actually joked it with my sis, and I was like, I think, Karo, I should really buy a car very early in life because it's kind of, I get so old so fast. Yes. Yeah. So most of the time, I could just dip my legs in cold water and I get the much relief that I wanted. So it being that my sister had so many loans, I was going through pain, but I didn't want to bother her so much. So I took painkillers, dipped the legs in water, and felt better. So after joining campus, now that is in 2010, I realized I can't now walk for a longer distance. Like, I need money to get a border to school.
Right.
But again, I can't bother my sister to give me fare to school. So I start business. I start selling earrings in school so I can get fare to school.
Ah, so this time you're
In
Campus.
first year now,
University?
yes.
Uh-huh.
So I do up to third year. Now third year, I feel like, no, I now need to tell my sister because
What's
it was
happening?
really, getting out of hand.
So it started like fatigue, like
Yes.
miguu inasikia haitaki kutembea or something.
Yes. I don't feel like I can't walk for a long distance. I can't
You
do
get
the
tired.
simple house chores. Like, I can't stand on a sink and just wash utensils for like even 10 minutes. There is this headache that just doesn't go away. There is this sharp pain because I had cancer of the bone, and it was in the pelvic bone right on my ovaries. So I can't like walk. When I walk, I feel like someone just stabbed me right in the thigh.
Sharp pain.
Yes, very sharp pain. So I start moving from one hospital to another. And the more I went to hospital, the more confused I became because there were a number of misdiagnoses.
I can imagine.
Yes.
That happens a
I
lot.
mean, it happens a
Ndiema.
lot, right?
Yeah.
So at this point, your sister knows what's happening?
Yes.
So she's supporting you
Yes.
in the process.
In the
Did you
process.
have an idea of what all this was?
No,
At the
because
beginning?
no, because I was a very good footballer.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I couldn't imagine that this time
Yeah.
it's the same legs that kick the ball that now can't even walk.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I start moving from one hospital to another. Now that time I'm in Kakamega. So I remember being put on arthritis drugs, diabetes. They tell me now you should stop eating red meat. You should stop eating sijui what.
Huyu anapenda nyama. Unaona vile amefanya
So I actually now finish campus. I haven't gotten the treatment I needed. I relocate to Nairobi.
Yeah.
I have to hustle now to get the money to help my sister get me treated.
Yeah.
So I start again moving, but when I reach in Nairobi, I realize that I can now again even move around. So again, my sister has to finance the treatment now in Nairobi.
Yeah. And this time it's different treatments from, like, you haven't discovered yet what is ailing.
Yes, I haven't discovered anything that is now eating me. Now in Nairobi, one day I was walking and I realized that there was an extreme sharp pain in my leg and I couldn't walk like completely. Yes. So I call my sister and tell her, Karo, I can't walk. And then she tells me, do this, take a border and go to a clinic, then call me. So I take a border, I go to a clinic. And then now when I walked into the clinic, I was referred to an orthopedic doctor. So I go see an orthopedic and the ortho was like, go do an x-ray. So I did an x-ray. So after doing the x-ray, he tells me, you need to act with immense speed. Go to another hospital and do a CT scan and then bring me the results. So I went to Nairobi West Hospital. I did the CT scan, brought the results back. And when I walked in, just gave him the CT scan, he was like, do you have any other doctor you know? Because you have a tumor on your pelvic bone.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Wow.
So I go back.
Had you ever had something, I mean, when you hear tumor,
Yeah.
that definitely incites something in your mind. Was that an immediate reaction to your...
Yes,
Yeah.
because I remember way back in Kakamega, I walked into Kakamega General Hospital one time and one of the doctor was like, the symptoms you're telling me are resonating with cancer.
Wow.
So I went home and told my sister, I've been told that I could be having cancer. And she was like, no, it can't be. It can't be. So it really hit me because of the reaction my sister had.
Right.
So I'm admitted now not really admitted. It was a walk-in surgery. So I walk in a surgery at Nairobi West Hospital.
Yeah.
And the very day I was to do that surgery, I'm called that, Faith, your sister has just gotten into an accident and she has lost her right hand.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. The same Carol.
Yes.
Your sister.
Yes. So they tell me we have to discharge you because there is now no one to pay for your bill. So I'm discharged to go look for a cheaper hospital. So I walk into Kenyatta the following day. And actually, now my step-brothers stepped in for me. So they tell me, now you have to go to Kenyatta Hospital. I remember going to Kenyatta Hospital, and until today, my money is still rotting there because I stayed there for like 12 hours. And we went there around 6 a.m. 6 p.m., a doctor walked to me and told me, Faith, we're not just doing the surgery today because time is out and you have to go back home and come back later. So I went home, came back, and they were like, you have to start all over again.
Right.
Remember, this time I'm in pain.
Yeah.
I'm using the little money I have now for fare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bill that I was to pay now is reducing via fare, that is.
Your sister is also in another challenging
Yes.
situation.
And now I'm told, don't call Caro because she's more of a patient than you.
Yeah.
So what do? I continue staying in Nairobi, moving from one orthopedic to another, moving one orthopedic to another. And eventually, I have to go back to Kakamega because I didn't get the much help I needed in Nairobi.
Wow.
So I go to Kakamega this time round. It was now after 2 months. My sister had now been discharged.
Right.
So she tells me there is an ortho that I see in town. Let me take you there and then we see if he can help. So we go with her. And then when we walked in, the doctor told me, I'm putting you on some drugs and then we see what will happen. And then I was like, no. I'm not doing any medication anymore because I've taken enough.
Yeah.
Right.
So I remember him throwing me away and he was like, so you think you know what you want?
Yeah. Hutaki kusaidika.
Hutaki kusaidika. And
Yeah.
then why did you even come here?
Right.
Umeleta hapa Kierere ya Nairobi.
My goodness.
Oh, my.
So
Yeah.
he chases me away. I walk out. So on the way, I'm like, Caro, now what do I do? And then you're like, let's reach home and see. Figure out what to do.
Right.
So reaching home, 2 weeks later, the pain is getting dire and dire. Then she tells me, go back to Dr. Shula and tell him you're sorry.
Yeah.
Then let him attend to you.
Right.
So when I walked into the hospital, actually I was ready with the money to admit myself. I usually say that I had grown so strong that I could even admit I walk into the hospital, I'm the sick person, I'm admitting myself, I'm doing everything for myself because I had gone through so much pain that I couldn't even, it wasn't even always on my head that I'm the patient.
Right.
So I walk in and he tells me, Faith, go pay the money and come back. We admit you, we're doing the surgery today. Right. Even before I apologized. Yeah. So I get admitted, the surgery is done. The following, after 2 days, the results were in. And when the histology results came, the doctor just told me, go home, you're healed. Like Jesus, just like that. Then I was like, which type of tumor was it? Yeah. And then he was like, Faith, go home, you're healed. Yeah. So I didn't want to get into another quarrel with him. Right. I was like, okay, if I'm healed, then why should I not go home happy?
That's right.
Unfortunately, the happiness was short-lived.
All right.
7 months later.
Wait,
pause
before,
right there.
Yeah, we will come to 7 months later.
7 months later. And we will have to really crush it because we really need to know what happened and was there healing eventually. So we take a short break. We'll be back with the Faith powerful story right here on Sunday Best.
Kweli tumetanga gizani, tukazama katika dimbwi la dhambi, tumeshikwa mateka na roho yake mwovu, nia yake kutuangamiza, tukose ufalme huo, lakini tuna ujasiri, tutavishinda vita hivi. Kweli tumetanga gizani, tukazama katika dimbwi la dhambi, tumeshikwa mateka na roho yake mwovu, nia yake ni kutuangamiza, tukose ufalme huo, lakini tuna ujasiri, tutavishinda vita hivi. Mbinguni ya wale walokombolewa kwa damu ya mwana-kondoo, hawatavikwa taji la washindi. Jiulize, je, ndugu, utakuwepo pale? Tule rojo tele, tukiimba wimbo wake Musa na mwana-kondoo. Mbinguni ya wale walokombolewa kwa damu ya mwana-kondoo, hawatavikwa taji la washindi. Jiulize, je, ndugu, utakuwepo pale? Tule rojo tele, tukiimba wimbo wake Musa na mwana-kondoo. Japo shida za tukumba, twajua Bwana wetu ni mwema, yeye ni mwaminifu. Tusumbukapo hawezi tuacha kamwe, tumwamini ni yeye, lakini tuna ujasiri, tutavishinda vita hivi. Japo shida za tukumba, twajua Bwana wetu ni mwema, yeye ni mwaminifu. Tusumbukapo hawezi tuacha kamwe, tumwamini ni yeye, lakini tuna ujasiri, tutavishinda vita hivi. Mbinguni ya wale walokombolewa kwa damu ya mwana-kondoo, hawatavikwa taji la washindi. Jiulize, je, ndugu, utakuwepo pale? Tule rojo tele, tukiimba wimbo wake Musa na mwana-kondoo. Mbinguni ya wale walokombolewa kwa damu ya mwana-kondoo, hawatavikwa taji la washindi. Jiulize, je, ndugu, utakuwepo pale? Tule rojo tele, tukiimba wimbo wake Musa na mwana-kondoo. Mbinguni ya wale walokombolewa kwa damu ya mwana-kondoo, hawatavikwa taji la washindi. Jiulize, je, ndugu, utakuwepo pale? Tule rojo tele, tukiimba wimbo wake Musa na mwana-kondoo. Mbinguni ya wale walokombolewa kwa damu ya mwana-kondoo, hawatavikwa taji la washindi. Jiulize, je, ndugu, utakuwepo pale? Tule rojo tele,